experience just to see if we can. So I have a Valve Index, and the Index has what are called Knuckles controllers. They are the only controllers. Most controllers have like first finger, second finger, and thumb, but the Index has finger tracking. And so VRChat, you can map expressions to each hand. So what I did for this one is I just I figured out the expressions like I wanted to make, and then I mapped them to the fingers, and then I just kind of muscle memorize them so I know exactly the type of expression based on exactly what I'm saying and stuff.
Wow.
It's awkward, maybe it's not, but
that is absolutely, truly mind-boggling.
Well, I mean, there are, we're getting to the point of like facial trackers, but I was like, too many people I hang out with in VR. This is me. I want it to feel like me, and that just adds to the immersion factor. So
yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm suitably dazzled. It's like suitably impressed. Like that. It's very cool.
So.
Well, I actually don't have timestamps on my end, so I don't know how long to go for. But
we're about a minute. I was going to say the only other thing I was going to mention was, and I lost it, and it wasn't that much anyways, but like spinning up a sheet of like potential guests, and time, planned recording times and such. I don't know if you had one or.
I started one, and I didn't do a good job of it. So if you have one started, you could share. We can.
Had it because I had it, and then I think I lost it, and I'll see if I can find it again.
No worries if not. Are you navigating a Google Sheet in virtual space?
Yeah, so there is you won't be able to see it because this is only showing VRChat, but I have there's a program, what is it called for Steam VR? Access Overlay, which lets you bring desktop windows in. So like above the camera here, and I'm moving a window with my fist right now. I have a Discord window here. I have the web browser here, and then I have a keyboard below that I'm snapping fingers. Yeah, can I take a screenshot? There's a way to take a screenshot, I know. I'll see if I can take a screenshot.
There is a very childlike glee that I'm experiencing.
Ooh, actually, I bet okay, so sheets. Dang it. Okay, well. All right, so I can spin up a list really quick, but since we have a few minutes to kill as well, let me see if I can switch to display VR view and then switch the camera. That is status. Can I do a capture specific window? See, that's the maybe. Okay, so you can see this thing. So like if I look now, and let me see if this actually shows on the
what?
Okay, it does. So yeah, this is literally my perspective. So yeah, I have the camera there for VRChat. Discord's up here. Over here is it's mirrored. Yeah.
How easy is it to type on the virtual keyboard?
So the Steam keyboard, the default one, but I mean, here, and I'll move these so you can kind of see. This one's pretty good because it's pretty good with like 2 controller flexibility. So like, if I want to, I can type this. It's not perfect, and you can. There's never any obligation. You can use a regular keyboard. You don't have to use necessarily controllers because there are people who do like sit down, just the headset, and you use the regular keyboard and stuff. So
what you're trying to tell me is I should get the Valve Index. Or is it one for maybe like a pleb like me that is better?
If you're like just entering, there's nothing wrong with it is meta. There's no real way around it, but fucking $300 for a Quest 2, you really can't go wrong with that. Index is $1,000, which I would call mid-range. So, I mean, and, we're not going to get the next consumer headset probably until 2024, if news is correct, because Meta's coming out with another one that's going to be for like enterprise people next year, I think.
I wonder if I can get somehow some expense from my company. I'm always trying to sneak some things through. Okay.
Yeah.
Do they come with controllers?
The Quest 2 and every major headset will come with at least hand controllers. If you want something like full body, that's going to be that's a separate expense.
Wow. Okay. I'm like, yeah. Nothing. It's so funny to like sound in any way like I've been skeptical, but saying this has like fully pilled me. Like I am hurtling now towards the rabbit hole.
Oh sure. Oh, I mean, I am all for crypto pilling VR or VR pilling crypto people. Yes,
Yeah,
because
nothing will ever be the
uh,
same. It just seems now because it seems I alluded this to before when we did our interview, but I was like, I feel so all of a sudden jealous of people getting to hang out in VRChat with each other.
oh,
Yeah, you just get that
it's a
moment
whole
where
other
you
thing.
get that
Fucking
moment where you feel old.
Phantom Sense and ugh.
And that was just my moment. That was my moment of feeling old.
Well, there you go.
Is okay. I feel like now this is almost its own interview because my like natural curiosity is piqued.
I mean, we're at 7.5 minutes. We can keep going though. I have no immediate obligations. I'm just
it's a
typing up
bonus
the
one.
sheet tonight. So
There's like it's got to get redacted. Is there okay? You're gonna have to walk me through the VR cuddling. Well,
ask away. I mean,
is it? Do you? I guess the interesting question is there like some phantom like a limb in VR? Like does your brain is VR like immersive enough at this point that your brain is indicate like you're like, oh, I should be able to feel this object I'm picking up.
all
Or
right.
like is
So
something triggered that you're like, I am on a really high place or whatever.
So the term typically used in VR is called phantom sense. Some people say you have to be born with it. Some people say you can learn it. I have learned that I have a particularly strong phantom sense because I'm ticklish in VR, among other things.
What?
Fucking,
No.
you touch my sides and legs, and I'm like, get away from me, fucking. But yes, so yeah, it depends on the person. It depends on the extent. I mean, we're at the point where we have like fucking haptic suits with like electrodes placed on the chest arms and stuff. But you can do. I mean, there's been the experiments of like people have their arm on the table like replaced by a false arm. Their real arm is like behind a barrier. And then they like tap the fake arm, and you can see the reactions on the real arm. The brain can and will pick up on that and just associate stuff with it. And I don't know what that means. I've had some people tell me it's like, oh, you're on the front of transhumanism because you can generate those sensations just on visual and audio stimuli alone.
Right.
And then there's part of me that's like, does this mean I'm like weak-willed or something? Because I can't.
Extremely suggestible.
Right. Like, what does that say about me? Again, like I briefly mentioned with Sammy, like the rate of technological progression is impressive, fascinating, worrying. There's just a lot of things to consider.
Okay, the speed with which you changed that expression right there was striking. I see what you mean about like muscle. Like I would imagine at this point you have almost like this. You've changed instead of I am emoting this facially to I am emoting this via a command. And I imagine that lag time gets less and less and less, right? Like it becomes more and more second nature.
Yeah, and depending on what you want to do, like there are times I have added like different, and obviously there are limitations with like the controllers and stuff. Do I have my left hand disabled? Maybe that's why. Yes, but like if I wanted to add new expressions, that's a whole other control set I have to learn, or if I want to fucking, So there's always a learning curve, but over time you just kind of. If you figure out a flow that works, which granted, I'm the person who, it's VR and there's an infinite amount of avatars. So you have people who love to be shapeshifters. They never keep to one avatar. And so or with public avatars, you don't know like what the creator put as expressions. But mine, like this was my second ever. I found this avatar day one in my VR journey, and I was like, this doofy face, this silly, and I'm just like, it's me, and so I've just stuck with it and modified, and so that's part of it is I'm so accustomed to it, and in turn, people are kind of the same way. I have a few other friends who use, like I've customized this one heavily, but I have a few other friends who use the base model, and people tell me they're like, you know, I'll go into a world and a friend or two will join. I'll be like, V, you're not V. Oh, well, like this is my face. Like they just
right. It is. Yeah. I mean, that's the interesting. I guess maybe that is the transhumanist element of it, right? But it's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, everybody to a certain extent. Like I've always had like a profile picture that I've identified with that has kind of very consistently always been that. But I imagine if you've like customized it, if you've inhabited it, if you've lived in it, how difficult is like modify, like what kind of technical level of expertise? Because in my own back of my mind desire to like be in the VR world, I've like probably done the exact wrong searches on like Fiverr and Etsy to like be like, well, how much do one of these bad boys cost? And like it just seems like really difficult based on the amount of money people are charging, but I could be totally wrong.
It depends. I mean, like building an avatar from scratch. I mean, there are tools that make it easier. There's like simple where you can do like a generic model and base and face, and then just do like simple customizations. Most of what I do is so you have 3D modeling programs, which is where you would like build the actual model and clothes and things. And then you have the game engine, which is Unity, where you would do a lot of like the weird tweaks, the customizations type of thing. And most of my knowledge is based in Unity. It's actually, when I got this avatar, it's what got me started. I was like, I don't want to have 7 different avatars for different hair colors if I wanted to change my hair. So I figured out how to do a color change wheel. So yeah, and then I was like, okay, I don't want to be limited to just. I don't want to be limited to a, what if I wanted to change outfits or do things? So like a lot of models only have like one clothing option. Sure. So I was like, I figured out some basic 3D modeling and how to toggle clothes, that type of thing, simple stuff like that, which is mostly game engine stuff, which is, I would say, compared to the actual modeling and building of assets, is immensely easier and not too difficult. There's a lot of different stuff at play, and then like adding bones and physics to make like your hair move and stuff like that. So
sure. Yeah, I didn't even think. Okay, well, I guess then how does like a normie like me get a good avatar?
It depends. It really boils down to there are plenty of like there are plenty of marketplaces, Booth, Gumroad, probably, I mean, even DeviantArt, where you can buy pre-made models and customize them. There's a boatload of public worlds in VRChat with publicly available avatars, so you can go and like trial and error, see what you like, see what you don't, go from there. Or you can find a VTuber, or you can find a VTuber or a VR model maker and just commission them and give them reference pictures. And
okay, this person on Etsy says custom. Okay, it looks like $100 to $150. Okay, these do get quite upsetting quite quickly.
They can get spendy. So
I meant also in content.
Yeah, well, I guess I can't speak for everyone in VR, but the spectrum, and I've already been, it's kind of hard to call it a spectrum because there's not a middle. You have Quest 2 kids, because their parents got them the Quest 2 for Christmas.
Oh no.
And then you have the really lewd, yeah, there's not inherently an in between
to think about. That's kind of a bummer. Yeah, I guess I'm like totally like obsessed now. Well, if you can send me like the starter pack of where to look on these things, that would be amazing.
Absolutely. And I will say too, obviously the experience isn't the same, but for VRChat specifically, you don't need a headset to play. You can play on desktop. and we have there are a couple of crypto people who, when we play, they don't have headsets either. They play on desktop, so nothing that says you can just load it up for free because it's free. Load it up for free and come join us one night. You know?
Okay. Walk me through this like I'm a child, like some type of. Imagine that instead of being like very smart, like I'm sure you think I am. Like imagine that instead you're talking to a moron, and I know that's a big leap. Like
explain like I'm 5, basically.
Yeah. Get real.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm on VRChat.
Do you have Steam?
I do have Steam.
I would recommend getting it through Steam because it's on Steam as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had Steam open anyway because I was playing the Metal Gear Solid Ninja game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, VRChat. And there's just
am I gonna VR pill you and get you in here tonight?
I'm literally I'm unironically doing it right now. There is nothing
thing on Steam?
Oh no, it's going. I'm saying I'm making a decision.
Executive decision.
I'm making an executive decision.